Hello everyone. So today I will gonna go through May 2020 Unit 1, which is Edexcel IAL IT, and the time for this question is 2 hours. Let's move to the question number 1 because in this video I'll be only cover question number 1 and question number 2. So the question number 1 is website traffic statistics shows that mobile devices such as smartphone are now used more often than desktop PCs. So number A is asking that a smartphone is an example of technological convergence in the early 2000s. Mobile phones were given extra features such as text messaging. Since then, they have been developed to perform other tasks that previously could only be done using a PC, right? So give one task apart from text messaging that a smartphone can be used for that previously could only be done using a PC. So in simpler way, it is asking that what a smartphone can do that in previously like 10 to 15 years ago, it can't be done with phone. It needs PC or computer to do that. So we have to first understand what is the meaning of technological convergence. So technological convergence is when a number of technologies comes together in one place. That is called technological convergence. Like in our phone, we are able to do the writing, right? So it reduces the work for the paper. Then we can use our phone to see the pictures, and beside that we can also take the pictures. So this one is also taking the part of the camera. We can also use our phone to play the music and see the movies. So one of the other thing that we are using previously with our PC is like we need PC to read a book or even to read a file or open a file. But nowadays we can use our phone to read our books and everything. So the answer is like reading ebooks in one of the features that we can do in by using our phone. The other thing is the playing music. We can use our phone to play the music. We don't need computer or PC to do that. Now move to the question number B, which is desktop PCs use firmware during the startup process. So identify that item that must be present in the firmware for a PC to be able to start. Video driver, operating system, bootloader, and processor. So what will be the answer? So first of all, you have to identify like what is the meaning of firmware. Firmware is a system, built-in software that we have inside our PCs during the time they develop our PCs. So this firmware help us to install operating system. So when they are making that PC or laptop, whatever, they don't have any operating systems in it. So after that, when they sell it to the customers or when they use that laptop for demo purpose, they install operating systems and show it to the customer the type of features, right? So how they're installing their operating system using firmware. So one of the thing they're giving in the MCQ, that one is video driver. So video driver is one of the example is graphics design, right? So we need graphics card to get the video of the images. That means we don't need graphics card to install the operating system. And the B1 is operating system. Operating system is operating system. So we can use operating system to install operating system. And this C is bootloader, and the D is processor. Processor, we all know processor is an example of CPU. So the bootloader is the answer. Why? Because if you guys go through the YouTube and search for how to install Windows 10 or 11, you guys will say that most of the video they're mentioning about how to boot Windows. So bootloader is one of the items that we need to install operating system into our system. So the answer will be bootloader. Now the question number 2 is state the type of memory used to used firmware. So obviously we need type of memory that can be forgot during the time of restart. So for the RAM, it forgot everything if we restart our computer. So it is a volatile memory, right? So for the firmware, if we restart and it forgot about the operating system, then each and every time we have to reinstall it. So obviously it will be a non-volatile memory. So it is uses a non-volatile memory. That's the answer. Move to the next question, which is Mobile devices communicate over the internet using the transmission control protocol and internet protocol. That means TCP/IP. TCP/IP uses a 4-layer model. Identify the current sequence of layer when data is sent. So they are giving us the 4 option. So when it is a simple thing, when a data sent to the server, how data sent to the server, because a human can only interact with the application, right? So for me, I can only use my application to send the data to the server. So the first thing, obviously, application, that means A or B will be the answer. Now we have to identify what will come after the application. So here is one of the example. After application, the transport layer, network layer, and link layer is coming. So this is the layer for sending data. So the answer will be question number A. Now move to question number 2, which is state why it is meant by a network communication protocol. So what is the meaning of protocol? Protocol is a rules and guidelines. So when we are sending any data or file to the server have some rules and regulation that need to be followed, and then our data or files, whatever we upload, it will upload to the internet. So the answer will be a collection of guideline or protocol for exchanging data among computers or across a network. Now question number D is phone calls can be made over the internet using voice over internet protocol. That means VoIP. And the other one is TCP or IP and VoIP both use packet to carry data, but only VoIP can be used for making a phone call. Explain why TCP IP is not suitable for making a phone call. Okay, so for the TCP and IP, why it is not applicable? Because TCP and IP always careful about like whatever the data is sent from the client, is it reach to a destination or not. They are always careful about that. Like if I send 100% of my data, so TCP will always be looking for like 100% of the data is sent to the server or not, to the destination. Whereas for the VoIP, they don't care about how much data are sending. So their work is only send the data. So the thing is that for the TCP, if some of the data don't like send during the transmission, they again resend the data, so that all 100% of data reach to the destination. Whereas VoIP, they don't care about that. If the 100% data are traveling through the server, they just make sure the data is transferred to the destination. That's it. Like compared to 100, if 50% of data is gone, other 50% is missing. So one of the example is if we talk inside the phone with someone or do the Google Meet, that time when we have some issue with the internet, some of our voice can transfer to the other side. So they are saying that okay, for 5 seconds we can hear you, can you repeat it, because that 5 seconds whatever I say it lost. But if I use TCP and IP, what happened? For the 5 seconds it lost, but when it get the internet connection, it will try to again resend my data. So that time I also talking, and my previous data is also disturbing during the communication. So what happened? It will create a confusion between the opposite side of the user and the user who was talking. So that's why we are not using TCP. So the answer will be TCP IP doesn't support uninterrupted real-time call because it resends corrupted packets. Now move to the next question, which is mobile devices can connect to wireless network at public Wi-Fi hotspot. Okay, when a device connects to a hotspot, it needs an IP address. So IP address can be static or dynamic. Explain why a mobile device should be allocated a dynamic IP address. So the simple thing is that general public or everyone, we always use dynamic IP. We are not using static IP address. Why? One of the common thing is for using static IP address, people need to know about some advanced configuration technique. So as a general people, we don't have that much knowledge, and we also besides that we don't able to do so much hassle during the configuration. Whereas dynamic IP address is the most easier way to connect to the Wi-Fi, and it has less configuration thing compared to the static one. So when we are using this Wi-Fi as a public, that means when a public will be using, most of them don't have that much knowledge about the technology. So, and beside that, they will not do so much hassle to configure the Wi-Fi. So it will be more trouble for them. So that's one of the thing. It will be always better to use dynamic address for the public. So dynamic address eliminates the need for manual configuration when connecting a device to a hotspot, thus reducing the necessity of technical expertise. Now move to question number 2, which is the mobile device will send its media access control MAC address to the hotspot. Explain why the MAC address is used in making the connection. So what is MAC? MAC is actually a physical address that is attached to PC or mobile. So by using the map, a hotspot or Wi-Fi can recognize the each devices, right? So the answer will be MAC address unique to each device or NIC utilized by hotspot or server to identify individual devices. That's it. So we've completed question number 1. Now we'll move to the question number 2. So question number 2 is a data flow diagram. So we all know that a data flow diagram is actually showing how the data is going through inside the system. That's it. So the question is, a company that sells flour has replaced its paper-based transaction system with an IT system. Flour that are available to order are displayed to the company's website. Okay. Customers order flour online. The customer current stock file is updated as each order is proceed. That means when an order is proceed, the data file is updated. So this is the symbol of the database file. This is the symbol of the order process or the system generation. And this is a something of the task or the manager, whatever the things that are doing the output or input. Stock and other report are sent to the manager at the end of each day. That means whatever the daily order or current stock file, these all things is going to the generate report option, and this report is sent to the manager. Then manager checking the report, and then it's sent to the generate purchase order. That means if some of the stock is less, manager note it down and give it to the purchase order to the system, and the system update the database file and give notification to the wholesaler that what the stock they need to use. So they will give you a similar data table like this. So first one they already cover, then B to G you have to write everything. So I will write all the answer here. You guys just write inside the table. So we first give the importance to this line. The company current stock file is updated as each order is proceed. So whenever the order is proceed, the file is updated, right? So customer give the order to the system. The system is process the order, right? And what the system will do? This thing is going to this daily order file. So obviously the order will go to the daily order file. The number of order will go to the database and save it here. So the answer will be the order. Then we will focus on number C. So this part is going to current stock file. That means whatever the stock is used, it is recorded, it is generated the number of stock used and updated the current stock file. That means if in my stock there is 10 product, now it is used, so it will update to 8 product. So stock used will be here. Now we will move to the stock and order report are sent to the manager at the end of each day. So here everything is going to the generate report. That means report is generating. So current stock file is generate current stock and then give it to here. So what will be this? It will be the daily order file. Give the daily order to this generate system, right? So this one will be the daily order. And when this two thing compile up and it is going to the manager, that means the manager is getting daily order and current stock report to here. So that means stock and order report is getting by the manager. After the manager get the stock and order report, what the manager is do here? The manager is After reading the report, the manager decide what new stocks need to be ordered from the wholesale. That means manager decide what will be the stock used. So that means stock required. So how many stock we need required? That is, the manager is give this information to the system. So system is generate purchase order, and then the purchase order is saved to the database, and it is give the purchase order to the wholesaler. So this will be the answer for this data flow diagram. Hope you guys understand. If you don't understand, please write in the comment section. Now move to the question number B, which is, in the paper-based system, order were taken by phone and recorded on order pads. Okay, at the end of each day, the manager reviewed the order that had been placed and purchased new stock. Explain one advantage to the company of changing from a paper-based system to an IT system. The thing is that for the paper-based, if a order, the sum of the order given or some of the stock are finished, that time we are not getting a real-time notification. We have to go through the paper and find out, okay, this is the list of egg, this is the list of milk, egg is reduced to 8, and we have to always calculate, right? We have to calculate, like, okay, the total order for the egg is 10 order, and how many order are sell. We have to calculate each and every day. We have to calculate and find, like, update our database, and for that we need a more employee as well. But for these things, this is a all manageable things that is managed by the system. So we need less employee, and beside that everything is instant. So the answer will be digital record makes searching, analyzing, processing and generating reports are more efficient and convenient. Now move to question number C, which is, the company's change from a paper-based system to an IT system has an environmental impact, obviously. So what will be the most positive environmental impact? The most positive environmental impact is they are using the paper before. So now they are not using paper. So it saves our trees, right? So the answer will be, utilizing fewer paper material result in a reduction of landfill waste, less environmental impact, and help conserve trees. Now the question number 2 is, what is the negative impact? So obviously the negative impact is the technology or the devices uses electricity. So electricity, when we are getting more, we need more electricity. That means more carbon dioxide is transferred to the environment, because we need to make electricity, right? So the answer will be, the energy consumption of IT system contribute to an environmental cost associated with electricity generation, such as one of the things is greenhouse gas emission, carbon dioxide production, and land use for power generation. So for electricity, if we want to produce electricity, carbon dioxide production will be increases, and for generating the electricity we need a number of the bigger land to make that production house there, similar like that. Okay, now move to the question number D, which is, when flowers are delivered to a customer, the driver records the event on a table. Okay, on return to the company's premises, the delivery record are transferred from the tablet to the company's IT system. Okay, from the tablet to the IT system, it transfer the data. Identify the method that will transfer the record in the shortest time once a connection has been made. So for this is one of the most most common question that most of the time came in a different way. So when we study, we always have to careful or memorize about the speed of each and every connection. So the speed of the Bluetooth is 1 megabyte per second. The speed for the USB-C is 20 gigabyte per second. For Ethernet cable, 10 gigabyte per second. Micro USB cable is 5 gigabyte per second. So remember about everything, the speed of each and every connection. So obviously the answer will be USB-C cable, right? Now move to question number 2, which is, the tablet is location aware. Explain how the tablet knows when it is on company premises. So how it know that I am on this tablet is on the company? Obviously it uses GPS. So GPS, we have GPS in our phone, tablet, in each of the most of the devices, right? So the answer will be, the tablet GPS functionality enables it to align its location with the known premises location, right? So this is the question number 2. And this is the end of this video. I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and share it with your friends so that they can get the updated video and whatever work I did. So please subscribe. Thank you for listening.